Welcome once again to Emma Adonis TV, a channel that is focused in presenting Jesus Christ as the light to society through health talk, educational talks. We are in the month of September, and September is designated for suicide prevention worldwide. So today we are here to give you some kind of education on suicide prevention. And to do us the honor with the topic is our own man, Mr. Jones TAGBOR. Mr. Jones TAGBOR, you are welcome.
Thank you very much. It's an honor being here on your set, and I hope our interaction will go far to help society as a whole.
Sure. We trust and we believe God for
Sure.
His mercy and His grace, reaching out to our viewers across the globe.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Please, can you kindly introduce yourself to our viewers? Our viewers would like to know who is Mr. Jones.
All right. Thank you very much. So you've already mentioned my name. I'm Jones KWESI TAGBOR. I work with the Ho Municipal Hospital here in Ho, mental health department to be precise. I'm also a national executive committee member for the Ghana Psychological Association.
A National Executive Committee member
Yes, please.
for the Ghana
Psychological
Psychological
Association,
Association.
that's GPA, to put it short,
Okay.
and also a member of the Mental Health Alliance here in Volta region as
Okay.
well.
Okay. That is great. Myself, I'm a director of Empowerment Ghana, and this program is being sponsored and supported by Empowerment Ghana. The organization is part of Alliance of Mental Health of Volta region. Thank you.
All right, I'm grateful to be here.
Okay, so let's go straight to the reason or the business for the day.
Okay,
So one will ask, what is suicide?
okay, thank you very much. So in the way of definition, we can say, or we say, suicide is a deliberate act of one taking his or her own life
Okay.
through any means,
Okay.
by a deliberate act of ending it all by him or herself. So that is suicide. And when this happens, it actually affects not just the person, but it becomes a tragedy to the family, loved ones, and the nation as a whole, and
Okay.
then the world as a whole, because someone taking his or her own life, it becomes unfortunate, and the people will definitely be affected out
So
of this manner. So, someone taking his or her own life is termed as suicide. And however, the repercussions of this thing goes a long way around to affect a number of people. And what we also notice that these things doesn't just happen, but it goes through a series of stages before happening. So
okay.
before someone ends up in suicide, they may first go through what we call the ideation stage. And from the ideation stage simply means that the person uh,
Conceiving an
conceiving
idea.
the idea, probably going through some life stresses, difficulties, or it can also be a mental health situation. And as these things come up, they tend to feel that no, living or continue to be alive is no longer worth it. So they may want to die. So they start thinking of what to do. That's the idea. They feel like no, I need to end it all through suicide. So that's the ideation. So from after they've had this thought in mind playing, then they now put in plans. So you can now talk about suicide plan. So after the ideation, they put in a plan to do
Okay.
this thing. So that's suicide plan. What exactly the person will want to do to ensure that what they are thinking of happens. So that is the plan. Then the next aspect is where they try to attempt taking their own life through the plans they've made. So they have plan A, plan B, plan C. If the first one they do well, they try another one. So that is it's a sequence of activities that goes on. And if at the attempt stage, if the person succeeds, then that becomes suicide.
Okay.
Yes, and if not, if the person didn't succeed and probably was rescued, then we count this person as an
Attempted
attempted
suicide.
suicide.
So
Yes,
we have the ideation, we have the plan,
you have
and,
the attempt.
and then we have the attempt.
Yes, and if the attempt becomes
Sus-
successful, then we say suicide.
Then, if the attempt becomes successful, then suicide has occurred.
Yes,
Okay, thank you so much. So we said that the WHO recognized 10th of September as Suicide Prevention Day. So
yes.
what is the celebration about?
Okay, so the 10th of September is actually the day to actually mark the occasion.
Oh, okay.
However, it is the whole of September.
It's the whole of
The whole of
September.
September.
Oh, okay.
So it's not just about the day where we go and make the noise about suicide prevention and that, but it's the whole of September. However, with the 10th is actually the, let me say, the day which would, maybe the commercial day, if I should put it as such.
Okay.
Yes. So 10th of every year, 10th
Every year.
September of every year, we do this awareness. And you see, the reason is that this is not just about the nation; it's a world issue.
It's a worldwide issue.
Yes, and looking at the statistics involved, it becomes very necessary that this uh,
Day is
day or this month is allotted for education on this subject, because looking at the figures, it's alarming. If possible, we can say that it's almost a pandemic,
it's
because
almost a pandemic.
yes, that we can say so. We can say this thing is almost a pandemic, or even you can say it's a pandemic,
Okay.
because with the figures involved. Let's we are talking about per the WHO statistics.
Statistics. Okay.
In every 40 seconds, we have one person attempting suicide or
Every
ending it.
40
In every
seconds,
40 seconds, one
one
person
person is.
is ending his or her life through suicide.
Wow.
Now, if we should aggregate these figures in every 40 seconds, in a year, per the WHO's figures, 800,000 people end their lives through suicide.
Wow.
800,000
That is a
people.
huge
A lot. A
figure.
lot. And looking at the statistics, the ages 15 to 19, suicide has become the second leading cause of death
15
to
to
19.
19.
That's a youthful age.
Yeah, that is a prime life of life.
Exactly. So, and people lose their lives. This the second leading cause of death among this age group is suicide. Have been identified to be suicide.
A time where the youth want to make it at all costs.
The struggles of
They don't
life.
want the process. They don't want to go through any process. They just want the quick money. They want to do all sort of things. They are
But it may
seeing
not
things.
necessarily be about just a quick money. But as I said, a lot of factors come into play. It's
Okay.
not just about making quick money. However, it's also a part of it.
Okay.
Yes, it's also a part of it. But as I said, there mostly the underlying issue here is the mental health challenges that brings about people having these ideas. And specific among them is depression.
Depression.
You have
What is
depression,
depression?
anxiety, substance use, and other mental health issues.
Issues.
Yeah, so talking about depression, it's also one of the mental health conditions
Conditions.
that affect the mood of the individual. Which
Okay.
when it comes like that, the individual tends to lose hope. They feel so worthless, hopeless, and they feel that they are no longer belonging to
And
society.
some people can live for days without food.
Oh yes. So
It's
at a
not as if
point,
they are fasting.
no. At a point, someone, even every other person, can go through a short moment of a depressed mood, a
Depression.
low mood. However, we have clinical depression, which will at least the symptoms of these things will last, not if not at all, at least 2 weeks going.
Okay.
Yes, if not at all, for us to. So it's not just about having a bad mood and say this person is depressed. We
Okay.
sometimes misuse the term. However, talk about clinical depression, it's a severe condition, and one of the underlying factors that leads to suicide, because this person, and like the financial issues you're talking about, not having all these things will end up making the person thinking a lot. How do I survive? And through this thing, they end up thinking or having that thought or the ideation of suicide.
Okay.
Yes, and then we also have anxiety, so people become so anxious about some life situations. Even it could be a diagnosis, a number of factors. They become so anxious, they become so scared about life. Probably they've heard some news, and all these things. Or it could also be out of substance use disorders or drug use disorders. So some of these things have the potential of leading people to having this situation. So we are, and then in the situation of Ghana, as I'm saying, this thing is almost a pandemic.
Mm.
Talking about the situation in
In
Ghana
Ghana
over
now,
here, it's also bad.
I
It's
learned there was a press release recently about 4 pages or so.
Yes, so we have press release from one came from the Ghana Psychological Association,
Okay.
also one from the Mental Health Authority,
Authority.
and they
Okay.
are all saying almost the same thing about this situation. And per this press release, in Ghana here currently, we are recording 1,500 suicide deaths in a year. 500
1,500
suicide
suicide
deaths
deaths in a
in
year.
a year. And looking at the Mental Health Authority's press release, as at 2020, the figure recorded was 777, and just in a twinkle of months, it moved to 923. That's in 2021. As at this year, just the first half of this year, from January to June,
June.
mental health authority has already recorded 593 people who have ended it all to suicide. So
Hey
you can,
God.
if these figures are coming, so you can, it is getting us the clear picture how come we arrive at that 800,000
Sure, 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 sure.
people.
So,
You see,
viewers, you are watching Emma Adonis TV, where we are discussing the topic suicide prevention. If you have not yet subscribed to our channel, kindly do so as we continue. And then, Mr. Jones, so what are the possible warnings that you can see, or somebody can know that no, I'm going through so and so challenge, or a third party can see that no, this my brother is going through this and that? Because even in the church today, you will find out that on several occasions, gone are the days we say that we are family based, like Africans, but of late is not seen even in the church. But the moment that we say Amen, everybody's for himself, God for us all.
just for us,
Nobody want to wait and then to even say hi to the friend. How are you doing? How are you friend? How is the family and all those stuff? So what are the warning signs that if you see, you can be able to tell that no, my brother or my sister is going through one A or B, so I need my advice or he needed my assistance. What are those warning signs, please?
okay, all right, thank you very much. You see, is every suicide that happens, at least 4 out of every 5 suicide that happen could have been prevented
Okay,
if we were
could
to
have been
know.
prevented.
Yes, 4 out of 5
Okay,
could have been prevented if we were to identify or notice the signs from the individual early.
early.
So which means that almost every time that suicide happens, the individual shows signs, but we turn out not to know that
Okay,
what this person is doing can be a sign that the person is contemplating suicide. So it's good to ask this question so that at least we get to know some of the, we can't say all, but
oh, by
some of
self.
the things, the significant things that people do, which can alert us to know that this person can do this thing if they get opportunity. So it comes in different forms. It can be one, even how they speak. You can identify this thing
Through
through
their talk.
their talk, how what they say, the things they say.
Okay,
Another aspect could be the kind of behavior they start putting up.
okay.
And then the third aspect could be their mood, a
Their
change in
mood,
the mood.
where
So
they go to isolation.
yeah, so we want to, let's begin by talking about the mood aspect. So in the mood, rather this person, how we know him to be, rather the person will just suddenly change. It is not always isolation.
Okay,
It can be the opposite, where the person becomes being hyperactive,
okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
where they become so much nice to people
People
and start
doing good.
yes, doing good that could be set on the extreme, because you don't know this person like this, so they can start sharing their belongings, which is a behavior as well. But
But when they start sharing their belongings, somebody may be praising God that oh, this person is, I don't have it, but this person has given me so and so amount of this.
yes, and that makes us not to identify that this person is going to this thing. So we are learning now that if somebody who suddenly start doing things like this should alert us, let us try to ask questions. We
Questions.
shouldn't just feel that the person is just celebrating Christmas for us.
You see,
No.
I also think there's this thing that is common. Somebody can be going through a lot. When you ask the person how you doing, the person saying I'm fine.
Yeah, everybody is fine.
Every day we say by the grace. But I've lost a lot of
You
people.
see, that's
That's
how come it's not just about ending at how are you. But the person says how are you, ask the person how are you, the person says I'm fine.
by the
But
grace of God I'm fine.
yes, but you can go further
Okay, okay.
to find out. Even somebody who is sick on the sick bed, you ask how are you, you say I'm fine. Meanwhile, there's drip, there's oxygen and everything and
Uh-huh.
everything, and they tell you I'm fine. But you can go beyond that to find out specifically.
So please go beyond that, not just asking how are you. After you have asked how are you, go beyond the how are you to find out what exactly the person is
The
fearing.
person says I'm fine, I ask him eating. Did you ask whether
Uh-huh.
you've
Have you eaten? Uh-huh.
eaten? Meanwhile, the person
It's
hasn't eaten the
not
whole
bad.
day.
It's not bad if we take somebody out. It's not bad. You
Not
can
at
do so.
all.
Yes, it's
You see,
not
these are
bad.
the things that are
You can
lacking in
even
our
come and take me
society.
out.
You see, so and like we are talking about some of the warning signs. So the behavior, the mood can be the opposite, either very low mood suddenly, or the hyper aspect of it, where these people with a low mood, they start isolating themselves, things that we know them to be doing. These are signs of depression, things we know them to like doing. They no longer do those. Even at the church, you know, the person comes to church, always when they come to church, they are active at the church. But I got to a point, you no longer see them. Even they come, they are seated at the back. They no longer have interest in anything they do. These things,
Sometimes we prejudge them by saying that because they have committed sin and this and that, so they don't want to come closer.
and that is why that end makes us to really push the person further into these things, because they
So
now
I think
feel.
we are learning from now
Yes, because
onwards that
we are so judgmental to the extent that we don't ask questions before concluding,
yeah,
and it's affecting a lot of aspects of our lives. So these things were possible. So even at the church, let us know ourselves.
sure,
Let's
sure.
see what's this person's strength, and if the person is no longer coming, let's get closer. We shouldn't just
Some people can even go
prejudice.
to work the whole day, they will not be able to do anything.
That is it. Even they go to work, even multiple mistakes, you don't understand, and we end up maybe lashing at them for being careless, and but probably the person is going through some emotional turmoil which needs attention.
Attention.
Talking about behavior wise, these people can, as I said, if the person, let's say a driver, more like that they may start driving carelessly,
Carelessly.
and even sharing of their belongings, their behavior, their things that we should be careful about. And then at times too, the presence of these later gadget, things that the person can use to hurt themselves. If they are present, maybe gun, knife, and all those stuff. As they are present, and this person is going through a little moment of depressive mood, they may feel like using those things to hurt them. So
Yeah,
the
yeah.
presence of those things in the home and the society too, it's not very helpful.
Okay.
Talking about what they say, I think this person will start passing comments like, I think I feel I'm a burden onto people. Nobody likes me anymore.
Okay.
This life, I'm so tired about this life. I'll be traveling to places that nobody will see me, or I'll travel and I'll never come back again. It is always about me. If anything happens, they say it's me, it's me, it's me, it's me, it's me. So based on some of these things, if I go, the air was never a man look for. If I'm no longer. Exactly. So they will be saying things like this, and we would think it's just a comment they are passing, but it may be a pure indication that this person has planned something down that
Okay.
they may want to do.
So thank you so much. We would like to pause here and then continue with part two some other day. But then please your last word to our viewers.
All right, thank you very much. So, what we are trying to say simple over here is that suicide is not an option to whatever situation in which you are going, because uh, if you can also look at your life and see the positive that God has also done for you, and you realize that out of 10 things you can identify, it is one that didn't go well. However, 9 went well, but we tend to ponder more on the negative that didn't go well, and that eats us up. Let's also learn to share our concerns. Let us create hope to others. We shouldn't be the cause of people's emotional
Emotional
disturbances.
disturb. Okay.
So let us be there to listen. If nothing else, if we can't give the support, at least give the listening
Bible says
ear.
we should be each other's keeper.
Yes, let us give the listening ear to our fellow humans. If the person comes, as you said, we shouldn't be judging, prejudging people without any basis. Could also be
Even if you have basis, you are not God.
exactly. But so far as we are humans, you see, these are
We
these,
can correct, but the correction to be done in love.
and then our expectations, to let us also manage our expectations, because sometimes these are the things that push us into this pit, because we expect some things to come our way the way we want it. Once it didn't happen like that, we tend to feel that no, nothing is working for us in life. So let
Okay.
us be each other's keeper, and as I said, help is always available, so
Help
let us
is
seek help.
always available. So, Mr. Jones, thank you once again. God bless you so much. We are so much grateful for your time and everything. We say God bless you.
All right, I'm
Okay.
also grateful for the opportunity, and I also want to let our listeners understand that from 25th to 1st October is a Ghana Psychology Week celebration.
Okay, we'll still
So
come back
let
and
us
then.
all get involved,
Sure,
and
sure, sure, sure,
let psychology be projected in Ghana. Thank you
sure.
very much.
Thanks be to God. Sure. So, our viewers, we will keep in touch. God bless you all. So, we will want to say bye for now.